I want to gamify PhD research, the research R&D game, and I want to make it so it's really fun and exciting. I want to talk about what gamification is in this video, and then what I'm actually doing with the reciprocity platform. So if you don't know me, I'm actually a professor of innovation. I'm Dave Massack. And what we're talking about with gamification. So the doing research is really hard. Anybody that does R&D or innovation, you realize that when you perform a particular action, the outcome doesn't happen for many, many years. And we often get extremely frustrated when we do this and we don't know what to do, right? And much of life is actually like this, that it is challenging. There's not a connection between doing that action and that particular outcome. Exercise, whether it's eating, whether it's any particular domain that you're thinking about, it's all hard to do. And we've seen a whole bunch of new tools that have come out that have gamified many of these things in our lives that make it a lot more easier to do it, right? Just a simple fact of doing communication, like social media, for example, it's all been gamified. And that's what I want to do to the research game and to the whole process of doing a PhD, or maybe even further than that. I want to make sure that we have a platform where we can create non-rejectable research papers and eventually grants. And so what is the story behind that? How do you actually do that? Well, if that's the end goal, then you work backwards. And then one of the things that's really challenging is the fact of like this motivation component of it, right? And it's very hard to get back up and to do it again when you're getting repeated negative feedback. And so what you need to do is make it fun and kooky and quirky along the way. And that's what we're actually building into the platform right now, is gamification aspects of it. So it's a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. So it's not just getting feedback, but you're getting feedback that is quirky. And so you want to get back and do this every single day, and you want to play with it, right? Where there's, people talk about gamification of software. What they're really talking about is putting in, badges and levels and all those kind of things. So it's fun to do. And this is a fundamental problem that we face when we actually do research, is that because it's hard and we get repeated negative feedback all of the time, many people quit, right? And then we blame the individual. And so the outcomes that you often see in the research game, this is like depressing to but if you start reading papers about, mental health and all that kind of stuff in, PhD research or in the research game, you'll start to realize oh my gosh, there's causal evidence here. If you do this, that if you do the research game and you go in and create, you do just research, right? You're doing a PhD research, it doesn't matter what it is, or you're a professor, and you do that research on a regular basis because you get no feedback on it, and it mostly is negative, that it really has deleterious effects on our health, serious deleterious effects. It's really, really hard. And it's causal. That's the crazy thing. So what I want to do is fill this gap, right? Make it fun and interesting and silly and goofy and build this platform, the reciprocity platform, so it gets better. And that's actually what we're focusing on over the next little bit, is making more game aspects to it. So when you actually play it, you play research, that it becomes fun and you want to do it every single day and you want to get up and do it. So there's a natural component of hey, there's silly aspects to this and there's all these moments of uncertainty. Why not gamify it, right? Every other industry has been gamified in some sort of way. Every other, whether it's from, driving taxis to getting hotels to eating to finance, all these kind of things. The most important part of our economy and economies around the world is not doing this. And we know about this. And so I want to change that. That's what the reciprocity platform is actually about. If you want to participate in some sort of way, go on there, check it out. But if you want to participate in a more meaningful way, there's other ways, just contact me. And the idea is to take this exercise where you have an action and you have this outcome that's really, really far in advance, to condense that as much as possible, but then make it silly and fun and exciting so that you always want to do this. And it becomes an important part of your life where you want to get up and do this at all moments of your life. And you might say, well, that's not me. Well, it's not meant for you, right? If it's not you, it's not meant for you. There is 90% or 95% of the people try this and they get frustrated and it gets hard and they don't want to do it. And so I want to change that. How do you change that? You have to build a platform where you connect a little bit more. And I'm going to really work on this, make it more gamified, more silly, more fun, as much as I possibly can, so that you can have a better experience with doing research. And the only way that I could do this is with your help, participating, sharing, letting other people know. Continue to do it and continue to change the way that we actually do research with this. Make it happen. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.